Kellen Flukiger here with the first edition of Break the Cage. Break the Cage now. You may be wondering what on earth I named this Break the Cage for. And my argument is to start with all of you. Every single one watching this broadcast now or later spends at least part of your life locked in a cage. It may not be one made of bars and steel, but the confinement is just as real. And we are here to talk about what that cage is, how you got there, why you live there, why you actually don't want to get out sometimes, where the key is, what to do if you decide to use the key, what the outside looks like, why you may stay content on the inside, and really why you ought to go exploring outside the door. So Break the Cage is about achieving those things in your life that you want to do or think you want to do and haven't yet accomplished, haven't even yet started to accomplish. Now, there may be some today who are watching this thing thinking, I have everything in my life. My life is perfect. I want it exactly like it is. I'm so happy every day I get up, I can't stand it. Good. If that's you watching this now or later, what I want you to do right now is in the comment section below, write 3 or 4 things that you're grateful for, things that just flow out of the abundance of your heart because your life is so perfect. Do it now. Put it in the comment box. Share that abundance of gratitude with those that are still working toward that state of owning a life that is so perfect in every respect, and I honor you for being there. Most of us, however, want more. We want to do something different. We want perhaps more happiness, more money, more connectedness, more internal congruence, more spirituality, more love, more better shape, fix our bodies, fix our job, fix our partner, fix our kids, fix our internal discontinuities, fix the ache that says I'm dying with my music in me, whatever it is. So what I want you to do right this minute is I want you to write in the comment box 3 or 4 or 5 things that are blocking you. The things that we blame: the economy, other people, my parents, friends, lover, companion, kids, job, health. Go ahead, blame. Put it in there. Go for it. Now blame everything that you want without recrimination. We all do it, okay? We tend to go and blame other things for the circumstance that we're in. And obviously I'm going to get to what that means and what to do about it and everything later, but right now I just want you to unload for a minute. Okay, good. Now either you have put in pieces of gratitude right now, or you have put in things that are blocking you. Now I want to make an observation right now. I'm wearing this hat for a reason. This hat says on it 178 billion barrels. One of the things I did in my former life as an executive is I worked in the energy field, in the electricity, in the departments of energy in California and in other places, in Alberta and Canada, around the world as an executive in several places. In high pressure, high tension, high value situations where people went to jail, lots of market manipulation, lots of things going on that people ended up being prosecuted for, bankruptcy, bankrupted the largest utility in the United States, that's Pacific Gas and Electric, bankrupted Enron, a big high profile case, all went to jail. I was in the middle of all that. Now, in Alberta, which deregulated their electricity system in 1996 and didn't blow up until 2001 when everybody in the West Coast and the western U.S. blew up with that whole Enron fiasco, Alberta also happens to have the second largest reserve of oil in the world behind Saudi Arabia, and this is what this 178 billion barrels is about. This is a reserve of oil they have, and the Department of Energy gave these out, and I was on the executive committee of the Department of Energy. My point in wearing this is to talk about reserves for a second, because if you are blaming things for not having the life that you want, then all of your potential is in reserve. It is in the ground. In Alberta, a lot of it is in the tar sands, which is tar, sticky, gooey stuff that's mixed with sand, and they have to do a lot of stuff to get it out. Now, whether you're pro-oil, anti-oil, natural gas, solar, whatever, I don't even care, because that's not the point right now. We can have an environmental discussion about carbon footprint and sequestration and all other stuff another day. But right now, I want you to think about reserves, and I want you to think about another word that starts with I. The first word that starts with I is I, as in you, right? Okay, the second thing is I as in investment. Now, I can't get to the reserves in the Alberta oil fields without substantial investment. I have to put some gear up there. First of all, I have to build some roads, or I can't even get up there. It's in the frozen north, Fort McMurray and places up there that are so far north, minus 40 in the winter is kind of the norm, right? And we have to put some investment, another I, in place in order to tap into those reserves. Now, Alberta could brag themselves to death about having reserves, but if they didn't have investment, they would have exactly nothing. Now, I'm going to argue that that's what you do and I do if we sit on our latent potential. Now, we talked in the beginning about gratitude for everything that's going well. We talked about complaining and blaming for things that are not. Now, I made it in the context of extremes. I said if your life is perfect, you're grateful, and if your life sucks, then you have things you're blaming. Mostly we live in the middle. We're not perfect, and things aren't perfect, but we still have an enormous amount of stuff that we either are or should be grateful for, and we have things that get in the way. Sometimes they're external, mostly they're internal. So what I want you to do is think about something. I've worn glasses all of my life. I started wearing them in first grade, and when I got my first pair of glasses in first grade, it was amazing. Suddenly, I could see. I mean, like, I could see, and before that, I didn't even know I couldn't see, because why? Because I couldn't see, and I had never been able to see, so I didn't know I couldn't see until I could see, and then suddenly I could see. It was really cool, like detail. I put them on my first day, and wow, like, stuff had detail, and there was stuff over there, and I could actually tell what it was, and wow. It was really cool, right? So the minute we get ourselves attached to or able to use the tools that we need to make the investment to tap the reserves, we begin to see things that we didn't see before and be able to do things we couldn't do before. Life suddenly achieves a clarity and power that it didn't have before. So I'm going to talk about glasses for a minute, but I'm really going to talk about lenses. And they're lenses that we choose to wear. And I say choose because just like my glasses, I could leave them off and not see, or I could put them on and see. Now, my vision was bad enough and progressively got worse all through my high school years until my vision ended up today. Well, by the time I got out of high school, it was like 2,500. Now, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but the numbers 20 and 500 mean something. They have distance scales that you're supposed to read stuff. So what it means, 2,500 means that I have to stand 20 feet away from something and to read it. And a normal person can read that at 500 feet. So that's like almost 2 football fields. Okay? So I got to look across the room to read it, and a normal person can read it 2 football fields away. So that's what 2,500 is. And so 2010 means, you know, 20, somebody's better than 2020. 2020 means I read at 20. Normal vision is 20. 2010 is better than normal. I can read it at 20. Someone has to be 10 feet. Normal has to be 10. So that's what those numbers actually mean. My vision got so bad it was 2,500. So you can imagine I wore my lenses all the time. Now we're going to talk about 2 lenses. We're going to talk about the lens of gratitude, and we're going to talk about the lens of blaming. Okay? If we look at our lives through the lens of gratitude, that is one chink in the cage that we build ourselves, and the cage being the boundaries, the artificial constraints that keep us from doing stuff. Now, you might have things in your life in the blaming mode. You might blame, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough opportunity, I don't know the right people, I don't have enough energy, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, you know, whatever it is, you can blame something. But let's talk about for a minute the lens of gratitude, because I ask you first to put some things in there that you were grateful for. The lens of gratitude has an interesting effect, just like the lens on my glasses. Suddenly, life becomes clearer. Opportunities zip into focus that you could not see otherwise. So one tool that I use is something called a rampage of appreciation, or a list of things that you're grateful for. And I can promise you, like I sit here and yell at you right now, or like the sun shines in Phoenix, or whatever else you want to, you know, kind of bank it on, like water's wet and all that stuff, that if you do this little exercise I'm going to give you right now, it will change the lens that you wear for the day. And if you change the lens that you wear for the day, just like me as a kid, you're going to see things that you didn't see. Detail, opportunity, clarity, connections. that you weren't able to see otherwise. Now, here's the exercise. Lay in your bed in the morning as you just become conscious and you move through that alpha state and you have those sometimes really cool ideas and you can't wait to write them down and you wonder if you're going to forget them all and everything else, and maybe you do and maybe you don't. We'll talk about that another time too. But right then when you wake up, make a choice. Make a choice to list 50, 50 things that you're grateful for. Holy crap, you're saying I can't do 50 things. I can't even think of 50 things. That's a bunch of crap. So let's give you some ideas. I can start with my body. Well, let's see. I'm grateful that I have eyes. And that's even though my vision is 2,500. In fact, I wear 8 eyes sometimes. I used to get teased in school about 4 eyes, right? A kid with glasses, that was 4 eyes, especially mine. They got broke all the time and were glued with plastic because my dad didn't want to keep buying new ones. And then I had those weird ones because I had those ones with the little hooks that went all the way down around the ears because mine kept falling off and breaking. So I had black horn rimmed glasses with weird little hooks that came all the way down around and that were broken on the bridge and fixed with 2 little plastic or a piece of white plastic and screws, right? Those are my glasses, but I was still grateful for them because I got to see. So number one, I'm grateful for my eyes that work. I'm grateful for ears that work. I'm grateful for my heart and my body that circulates. I'm grateful that I'm mostly healthy. I'm grateful that that great big bruise on my right leg that I did the other day crashing into the wall when I was out working out, and you've seen pictures if you've seen my Facebook videos, I'm grateful that that's healing, and this morning I was actually able to walk on it. So I'm grateful that my feet and hands work. I'm grateful that I know how to play the piano. My fingers work. I'm grateful that my lungs work. I'm grateful that I have good people like you to talk to. I'm grateful that I have a mission and a message. Now, that all comes just from thinking about my body, and I've done 10 already. Now, if I think about food, I'm grateful I have enough food. I'm grateful I actually don't have a lot of allergies to food and I can eat. I'm grateful I got to make a smoothie this morning of all kinds of stuff I won't go into, but that's what I have for breakfast. I'm grateful that I have enough. I'm grateful that it tastes okay, right? Grateful that I can digest it, on and on and on. So you can see that I can do my body, I can do food, I can do relationships, I can do meaningful work, I can do friends, I can do the place I live, I can do the talents and gifts that I have. I can give you 10 categories that it would be easy to think of 10 things in, so 50 is nothing. Now, if you lay there in your barely conscious state and honestly list 10 things that you're grateful for. Now, this isn't just a rhetorical exercise. It's actually to think of those things and the effects they have on your life and create that feeling of gratitude. You know what I'm talking about. When something happens and you're grateful and you feel the chemistry associated with gratitude that comes from your brain and goes through your body, what it will do for you, that lens, is it will change the way that you look at the day. It will change the opportunities that you see. It will change what you do that day. You will do different things. You will do better things. You will feel better. You will accomplish more. I know it because I've done it. I do it all the time, and I have clients do it, and the results I get reported are amazing. So that's one piece that you can have. Now I'm going to talk about a different lens. The lens of gratitude is a lens, I call it the lens of empowerment. A lens of empowerment you can access through many ways, but one of the ways is to do this exercise of appreciation. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is what we often do, and instead we wake up, we've hit the snooze button 16 times, we're late to whatever we either had to do or told ourselves we had to do. Today's Saturday, many of us don't work today. I'm getting ready to go to Toronto because I've got an event the next few days. But on the weekend, maybe you don't have to get up, but maybe you told yourself you wanted to get up, mow the lawn, do some yard work, go see a friend, have some fun, watch the Tour de France on at 3 in the morning right now, whatever it is, right? And maybe you didn't, you hit snooze a bunch of times, you missed some things, you didn't get up, you didn't work out. And so immediately you start the day behind the 8 ball. You start the day with, oh crap, I didn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or last night I got in an argument, or I ended the day without cleaning up my heart, and that's a whole nother discussion about how to take care of things, sleep well, wake up refreshed, that we won't do today either. That'll be in a future Break the Cage thing. All these pieces, we can't do them all in a half hour. So this is just talking about the lens you choose to start the day with. So we've talked about the lens of, what did I call that? The lens of empowerment. And the other lens is the lens that comes, and I'll give it a name in a minute, but it's the lens that comes when we blame and when we make excuses, right? So, oh, I got up late. I was too tired. Oh, I didn't feel like getting them. I don't feel that good. My leg hurt, and I didn't really want to get up and go for, do my workout this morning first time because it was so busted. It's still not good enough. It really still hurts. Maybe I shouldn't do that today. I mean, this is my conversation point, really, right? So I'm like, oh, I could do that, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not buying that line of crap today. I'm just not. Another day, whatever. But today, I'm not buying that line of crap. So we only have one day to live at a time, and that's today. So if you do these exercises one day at a time, you can get something done. Now, so let's get finished with the second one. The second one is one we normally, or often, I don't say normally, depends on your habits, but you often wake up with, and that's the lens of being behind the 8 ball, of blaming others, of feeling overwhelmed because you can't possibly do all the crap that you had lined up to do today. Your list is 100, and you know that you might get 22 of them done, but probably only 6 because things happen every day, right? But you still start with this list of 100, and really what it is the accumulation of all the stuff you didn't get done all week long on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today's Saturday, it's like, oh man, I don't have to work today, but maybe I'll get all of those 100 things done. I don't know what universe you live in, but maybe that's going to happen, right? So you live that way, and then you're, of course, inevitably disappointed. And on top of that, you blame, well, the weather's crappy. It's too hot, I can't go out and mow the lawn. I didn't get up on time, so now it's too hot, I'll mow the lawn next week or Monday or some other day. Oh, Monday, wait a minute, I can't do that. Tuesday, oh, wait a minute, I'll be in Toronto. Oh, wow, I guess I won't. You know how it goes, right? I call that the lens of confinement. So you have a choice. You wake up with the lens of empowerment or the lens of confinement. And what I'm asking you to do right now is think about that. So in the comment section on the event page, I want you to put some things that you're grateful for. And I want you to put some things that you use, that you personally use, not rhetorically, not others, as lenses of confinement, things that you blame. I don't like my job, my money, my relationship, my friend, the weather, my physical health, whatever it is, right? And what you'll find as you do that is there are different physical and mental experiences. When you list all of the things you're truly grateful for, and I mean actually grateful, so that you feel the chemistry, it creates one set of visions and feelings in your body. On the other hand, if you list all of the things that are in your way, that you blame, the reasons you can't get stuff done, the excuses that you like, especially your favorite ones, right? It changes the chemistry in your body, and you wake up with a lens of confinement on. Now, if you go back to my glasses in the beginning, that's like starting the day without my glasses. I can't see much. Now, I'm using vision as a reference here. It could be third eye vision. It could be meditation where you're focusing. Think of vision in a larger sense, metaphorical, but I'm using it with vision as my glasses because that's been something so close to me all my life. And it's something that's easy to understand, especially if any of you wear reading glasses. Now, I said I wear 8 eyes. I'll tell you why. I wear my regular eyes, right? They're busted as they are. I now have keratoconus, which means I have mush for corneas. So that means I have to wear hard lenses. I can't wear glasses or I see double. I have cone-shaped corneas, and so I have to wear really stiff, steep-sloped gas perm hard lenses in order to give my corneas some shape. Well, in order not to damage the corneas, I have to wear soft lenses, non-prescription. So I wear non-prescription soft lenses. I wear steep gas perm hard lenses. And then sometimes, because I need to see things, I wear reading glasses. And so I have 8 eyes. So the jokes about 4 eyes in school seem fairly trite at this point, right? All of those things are tools designed to improve my vision so that I can function with this particular tool. The point of today's broadcast is to give you a tool that will help you see clearly in your day and be able to do the things you want to, like my 8 eyes help me see clearly to do the things I want to that have something to do with vision. So let's go back over what we talked about. We talked about intentionally creating the lens of empowerment by thinking about all of the things and listing them that you're grateful for and actually experiencing the gratitude. It will be, the more you experience the gratitude, the more powerful this will be for you. The less you experience the gratitude and the more you just list stuff, well, blah, 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 the less powerful this lens of empowerment will be. It will be like lenses that are dirty. The next piece is to think about and intentionally avoid the lens of confinement, which is the lens of blaming, the lens where you abdicate responsibility, where it's somebody else's fault for my money. I don't have enough money. I don't have the job I want. I don't get to do the things I like. I don't have the relationship I want. My spouse sucks. My partner's not nice. My kids are disobedient. They're whatever. My boss, my neighbors. Go ahead, blame whatever you want. But as soon as you do that, and the more you do it, the more confining your lens becomes. So that's like wiping Vaseline on your glasses. Your vision gets blurry, your power contracts, the energetic force of your thoughts to create things subtracts and actually creates negative things. Okay? So break the cage today is about choosing to make an investment, like Alberta has to make an investment to get 178 billion barrels of oil, about making an investment in your potential by choosing to put on a lens of empowerment instead of a lens of confinement as you start your day. Now, I want to talk about one more thing to wrap today's session up, and then I'm going to go see if there are questions in the chat box or in the comment. I've got my business partner and wife, who's the most wonderful person in the world, looking at things and getting some comments ready. So I want to talk about the concept of inertia and momentum. Everybody's familiar with the laws of physics, or if you're not, you know that if you try to push a rock, you have to push hard. Close enough to be familiar with the laws of physics. A big rock that's sitting there is going to keep sitting there and not move until you push on it. And if it's a big enough rock, you need a couple people. That sitting there-ness is called inertia. After you put energy in it, it starts to move. As soon as it starts to move, it has something called momentum, which means it is the accumulation of energy that you have now transferred to the rock, and it will continue to move as a consequence of the energy you've put in it until another force stops it. Gravity's always working, so if you push a rock, it stops moving the minute you quit pushing it. Now, what I want you to understand is your ability to get out of the cage that you're in, your ability to move to the next level in any area of your life, is dependent on the investment of power that you're willing to put against the inertia that's holding you in the place that you're in. Physically, that's easy to understand. That's like pushing a rock. Spiritually and energetically, it is exactly the same thing. It is easy to calculate with the coefficient, the gravitational constant and everything else, the exact inertia that a physical object has. We don't yet possess the mathematics or the measurement tools to calculate energetic inertia, but it is there nonetheless. Okay, experiments in quantum physics talk about scalar waves and zero-point energy and other things that make us understand that there is an inertial field. And this is a bunch of woo-woo physics, so we'll just skip it and say, trying to do things and get them done is like pushing a rock, whether it's physically pushing a rock or whether it's energetically trying to improve your gifts and talents. So the bottom line is simply this. If you want to get in physical shape, you got to exercise. You got to push the rock. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. You can watch all the push-ups you want. Joe Studley does them. Jane Studley. Your arms don't get bigger, right? Okay, cool. Every one of maximizing your gifts and talents is exactly the same way. You personally have to put in the investment of energy to overcome the energetic inertia to create the momentum, the energetic momentum moving you forward to the next plane. This principle is true no matter what area you're talking about. Now, there are a whole bunch of reasons why we don't do this in the physical realm, getting fit and in shape, in the spiritual realm, getting connected with the universe and with God, in the relationship realm, making other relationships like you want, starting with the quantum relationship, which is a relationship with yourself. You know, I will do a whole broadcast on that relationship. What does the universe see when it looks at you as a quanta, as a discrete object? Is it open or closed? Is it connected or disconnected? But that's another broadcast. If you want to move forward in any of those areas, break the cage, as it were, you have to be prepared to make the investment, move yourself from the state of energetic stasis to energetic momentum, overcome the energetic inertia, and be willing to make the investment to get the oil out of the ground. Now, Alberta right now is pouring countless billions into investment in the oil sands. It is worth the investment today because oil prices are high. When I was at the Department of Energy in Alberta in 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, the first of those years, oil prices were low. They had a break-even point about where it became worth the investment. Because it took a certain amount of dollars per barrel to get it out and so forth. And there's capital investment, long-term amortization. All those calculations have to do with whether or not it's worth it. As the oil prices have risen, it's a no-brainer, and they're pouring money in infrastructure in there as fast as they can get it. Because why? Again, this is without regard to whether or not oil is a good thing, but it is now economically workable for them to put all kinds of investment in up there to get the return because of oil prices being high. I want to argue that maximizing your gifts and talents right now has the highest return opportunity that it has ever had in the history of the world. You have the opportunity with high oil prices, and I'm not talking about oil, I'm talking about the reach of the internet, your ability to maximize your gifts and talents, the explosion of knowledge, the availability of coaching and other tools to help you overcome any inertia that you have. Your potential return is today higher than it has ever been in the history of the world. Your reach is bigger than it has ever been. Your opportunity to make a difference, whether that difference is making money or spreading a message, is bigger than it has ever been. And so just like Alberta pouring money and effort in that opportunity as much as they can, this is your moment in time. If you do not capture this moment in time to maximize your gifts and talents, you're passing up the largest opportunity that there has ever been in the history of the world, period. So if that doesn't make you want to get off your butt and invest the energy necessary to overcome the inertia and achieve momentum in some area in your life that you just wrote down and blamed, I don't know what to say. Boing. Okay, I want to leave today's rant with all of the encouragement I can. If there's any way that I can help you, break the cage now. www.breakthecagenow.com is a way to get a hold of me. I have a breakthrough program, 90-day breakthrough program, etc., etc. But whether or not you use me or some other method or tool, excuses will never get you to the next level. They will keep you where you are and ensure that you remain in your state of confinement, with a Vaseline-coated lens of confinement on your face every day, as long as you choose to stay there. I wish, want, and energetically hope for you all of the power that you can manage and muster to create yourself the opportunities you deserve and that are within your reach, and to break the cage now. Now I'm going to take a look and see if there are questions. Joy, do we have questions that I should answer? I need to get into chat.
Oh, yeah, Grizz had one. Which rock should one push on first?
You know, that is a spectacular question, Grizz. And here's what I say about that. I can't tell you, because I don't know you, which rock to work on first. So what I do with clients is I understand first what they want to get done. So creating a 30, 60, or 90-day plan that says, this is what I'm going to do. Joy, when you're off, I need you to mute, so flip your mic up. Thank you. I can't tell you which rock to push first because I don't know what you want to do in 90 days. So when I work with clients, the first thing I do is ask them, what do you want to wake up to in 90 days? On day 91, when you wake up in the morning, what does your life look like? And then we go through a detailed, specific, emotional, powerful description of what that day looks like. And based on that and where you are now, then we can figure out which rock to push first. You know, some people want to get healthy, some people want to get wealthy, some people want to fix a relationship, some people want to find a purpose in life, some people want to fix their kids or their spouse or themselves or their job or whatever. So it depends on that. But there is a way to find out, and it's not magic, and Harry Potter's got nothing to do with it. So if you're not going to get some help so that I can help you, the first thing you need to do is create a vision, a powerful, compelling vision of what your 91st day looks like, and look at what you're doing today and say, are the things I'm doing today, every single day, lining up with that? The question I ask is, can you see your 90-day goals? I think of a pirate spyglass, right? Can you see your 90-day goals through the lens of your daily activities? Because if you cannot see day 91 through the lens of your daily activities, you're doing the wrong stuff. Other questions? Now, I don't have any idea what you expected when you thought this was going to be Break the Cage, but we're doing 3 hangouts a week. We're doing Results on a Rampage on Tuesday nights, which are specific strategies about how to achieve results. They come from my 30 years experience in energy, high-power teams, doing impossible things, and so forth. There are specific ways to achieve results on a rampage. We're also going to have some interviews on there with people that have achieved massive results and understand their tools and processes to achieve results. We have Speed to Profit Marketing on Wednesdays. That is about marketing strategies to create an irresistible #1 positioning in a niche in the market so that you can capture that place and become the answer instead of another alternative. Saturdays is Break the Cage. This is specifically about how to break free from your present chains and confinement to that vision of paradise across the gap, that person or situation that you know you can have, you know you deserve, and yet you seem to remain chained to the spot that you're in the prison of pain you currently find yourself, instead of the beauty of the paradise that you can see across the canyon of, oh crap, how do I do this? That's what Saturday's dedicated to. Thank you all. I am going to end the broadcast, and then those that are in the film strip can do whatever you want. Thank you for coming. Break the Cage. We'll see you next Saturday at 9 a.m.